Good afternoon, everyone. Midway Piper here. I hope everyone is doing well today. Wanted to talk about something I've been discussing with actually my personal trainer, who become good friends with over the last many years, and so I wanted to bring it up to you guys. And honestly, just any excuse to be out here today. This is absolutely beautiful back here in the woods setting again. It is 62 degrees out here today, and I made a point of leaving work early because it's beautiful. And I also need to talk about what I'm smoking today. And yesterday, actually. So, first things first, what am I smoking it in? This is my Stanwell Danish Design Relief number 63. It's got some cool plateau on the top. Cool green. It's almost like a varnish on it. It's got a pretty decent sized bowl on it. Doesn't really sit all that well. It's kind of flattened on the bottom, so yeah, actually it does. It's a sitter. I never even really realized that. That's kind of cool. I don't know if you can see. I don't want to spill the bowl, and obviously the finish on this isn't helping. You can kind of see it's been flattened down here to kind of sit. So there we go. Fantastic. So what am I smoking in it today? In my last video, I think it was the last video, I mentioned that I had exchanged some tobaccos with the Painting Piper. And yesterday I was a little strapped for time, so I didn't get around to making a video, but I did try one of the one of the blends that he sent me. He sent me several custom blends that he's put together. And the one I smoked yesterday was his No Name blend. It's a mix of Virginia, Turkish, Izmir, Black Cavendish, and Latakia. And I was thoroughly impressed with that one. I emailed him this morning, and I had suggested this is very Oriental forward, and I really like that. When you open it and you smell it, it's got a very incensey kind of smell to it. So I had suggested the name Oriental Incense. Huge fan of this. I did not have it in a very big bowl, and I had regrets because it was really good. So I've been super excited today to come home and try another one of his blends. And this one, again, you guys will have to forgive if I'm not pronouncing the name of this right. It's called Neuse, named after a river in North Carolina. Thank you, Rudy Verkrusen, for the information on the river. Apparently, it is wider than the Mississippi, the biggest river on the east coast, eastern U.S. I had no idea. It's located in North Carolina. So this blend is Virginia, Turkish, Black Cavendish, and Latakia. And it is amazing. Wow. It does have some of those same incensey kind of notes to it. But it's a bit of a sweeter one. It's not quite as Oriental forward. I think this one might be a little bit heavier on the Black Cavendish. But Painting Piper, I'm going to tag you in this video, first of all, because you're really good at blending. So there's that, number one. Number two, what is it in here in both of these blends? Is it the Latakia that has that really incensey kind of smell to it? Is it the Turkish? The Black Cavendish does add a nice sweetness to this one. So I'm not sure if there's some sort of casing on that. Where did you get your mixing supplies? Is in brief the question. I'm guessing you probably ordered just a whole bunch of different tobaccos and you've just played around blending them together. So if you could please, sir, do a video, because I need to know these things. This is fantastic. I'm really enjoying this one. I was going to try and stay away from some of the more sweeter tobaccos, but wow, this is done right. Good job. I'm going to say it one more time again, too. If you do not follow the Painting Piper, do it, please. Fantastic channel, fantastic person. Do it. All right, cool. So on to the theme of this video. What I wanted to talk to you guys about is when I'm working out with my personal trainer, we talk quite a bit about companies, stocks, investing, all that kind of good stuff. And I've known him for, I don't know, maybe 12 years at this point. He started off as a personal trainer that I had at the gym I was going to. He got promoted to manager, and then had a falling out with the owner of the gym, got fired. And then him and one other trainer that was working there at the time, they were friends since forever. So they opened up a one-on-one personal training pretty much across the street in a garage. And there was no general gym use. It was one-on-one personal training. You went in, you trained for however long, and then you left. They put the gym out of business. And as time went on, they went and opened a gym in the nearby shopping center. They've expanded that gym, and now they just opened a cafe across the street from the gym. So he's got a pretty good business sense about him. Gets that from his father. He's an immigrant, and went on to got some apartment buildings in New York City that they own and manage. So he thinks differently than most people do. And so we shoot ideas back and forth while I'm working out. And so we talk about stocks and things like that, companies to keep an eye on. And which leads me to the question. I've been, investing for quite a while now. Not as long as I wish I had been, but nonetheless. Obviously, the economy is not doing so hot right now. Stock market, I should say. You guys do anything about that? It's a great time to buy. Right now, I invest through an app that allows me to set percentages. So I get a pie chart for my whole portfolio, and then you can buy different stocks, and they're a different percentage of your pie chart. And I've been playing with my percentages, trying to lower my average cost per share on a couple of stocks that I had bought right before things really started to tank. And I have expectations that when things settle out, those stocks will go back up and probably much higher than they are now. But nonetheless, I'm just buying as the market is going down because it's the time to do it. Now, I know a lot of people really freak out when the market's going down. Everyone's worried or paranoid that a huge crash is going to come. And this happens quite frequently. An example would be Tesla stock. Now, I made myself a promise. My promise to myself was that I was never going to put money into a stock that Elon Musk is currently active in. And what I mean by that is, well, he's a controversial individual, and he adds an unnecessary degree of volatility to a company's stock when he does things. And I broke my rule. I broke my promise. Tesla right now, with all the left backlash against him, that stock is doing not good. It is currently below half of where it was at its top, for no real reason other than people boycotting Teslas and lighting them on fire, and that's a whole nother discussion. I don't know if I want to get into that right now. We're gonna skip that for right now. Anyways, eventually things will turn around. But essentially, if you go and buy a share of Tesla stock right now, you're buying it at half off, because there's no debating that it's going to go back up. Probably higher than it was before. Nothing has inherently changed about the Tesla company. So, there's that. So that's huge. See, a lot of people during the economic downturns, COVID, the uncertainty in the market as prices went down, 2007, I think it was. All these big economic troubles. It's amazing. I get it. People really freak out, and if you're dependent on your stock portfolio at the time, I understand it's a big deal. But if you keep your money in the market, if you don't freak out and sell, you haven't lost anything. You haven't lost anything. You only lose when you sell. I was talking to another friend. He's an older guy, not that old, but older than I am. And his brother was a stock investor, And the guy I was talking to, he said, my friend who said, yeah, no, I don't really understand stocks, so I don't get into it. He gave his brother some money at one point, and his brother lost it in one of the big downturns. And I said, how do you lose it? And he goes, well, the stocks all went down. I said, okay. And then what happened? They went back up, higher than they were. So he sold? And he goes, yeah, he must have done that. See, I've almost kind of gamified it. I started this, I told my trainer about this. He's got involved in doing it the same way I do now. Playing with that app. We've gamified it. I don't take it that seriously, because I see this as a long-term investment. I don't have any interest in selling these stocks right now. I've got a very different long-term plan. I have a strategy, is what it is. My trainer's doing a similar thing, but he's got a very different strategy than I do. His strategy is to try to make money to help him grow his businesses and start new businesses. And that's great. He's got a pretty big family, so that's where his priority is. It's not quite what my priority is going to be. My priority is going to be making a dividend producing nest egg, hopefully, that can be passed down. So any money that my stock picks make, my end goal is going to be to roll all those over into dividend producing funds. Kind of like a hell of a lot smaller, but kind of like what Berkshire Hathaway does. Berkshire Hathaway doesn't really produce anything. But they've got so much money in dividend producing funds that they make millions upon millions of dollars a year simply in dividends alone. And then you can buy their stock on the stock market. Sort of runs the fame of Warren Buffett. So again, the goal is then to buy the stocks, hope they appreciate, end up with more money than, hopefully a decent amount more money than I put into it, and then those I can pass on to my son in the form of a trust that'll produce dividends, and that'll provide some quarterly income. That's a plan. The ideas of retirement in the traditional sense don't exist anymore. Some of you guys may be fortunate enough to either work for a company that has some sort of retirement plan, or a pension. Those are unicorns right now. Some of you may be older and retired and have a pension. Good for you. I don't. I have also intentionally made the decision to not participate in a 401k through my work. It's not matched. It's not matched. I don't want to pay some random company that they have picked out to cover, to pay, to select the stocks to determine for my retirement. In fact, a 401k was never meant to be your sole retirement. If you guys don't already know this, 401ks, your 401k manager, they often take a percentage of your portfolio a year as a service fee. Do you know that? Over a long term, that can add up to quite a bit of money that they're taking. Now, if you don't know the first thing about stocks, that might sound like a okay plan because you don't have to worry about it, right? I don't know a whole heck of a lot, but you know, I do some research here and there and look at different companies and stocks, and you know, look at trends of how, you know, where the future's going. And I pick stocks accordingly. If you don't want to pick stocks, you can pick an ETF. Their percentages are significantly smaller than what you would pay a manager. They're digitally managed. Your loss in an ETF is most likely going to be a lot smaller because it is comprised of so many different companies. Your profits are also going to be less. So, you know, it's a safer route to go. But, you know, as people are looking at the stock market right now and just flipping out about how horrible things are, and, you know, getting emotional and selling, and nope, hold it. You only lose money if you sell it. You only gain money if you sell it. So there's that too. Sell when it's high, sure, why not? But there's something else. I don't know. Those are just some things I've been thinking about lately. So I don't know if you guys play around in the stock market at all. I'm not interested in trading. That's a great way to lose money. Buying and selling quick. Nope. No, I'm looking at companies that have good growth potential. You know, a company that's really thrown me for a loop is NVIDIA. I was very hesitant to get into NVIDIA. They are certainly on the forefront of the whole AI thing right now. When I was growing up, I was into building computers. And NVIDIA, they were just a graphics card company. That's all they were. They were nothing more than that. They would, you know, they would put out a new graphics card. And, you know, if you were into building your computers, gaming on a computer, you'd always want to get the new graphics card. But that was kind of the extent of it. And as I sort of watched the company grow, I was like, all right, they're a graphics company. I can't imagine their stock going much more. And it just kept going up and going up and going up and going up. You know, it was I finally bought in. And now I need to cost average myself down a little bit because where it is now is certainly a better selling point. And it's funny, it doesn't matter what news comes out about how successful a company is. Last earnings reports, there was great news from almost all the companies that I'm invested in. Great news. Didn't matter. Stocks went down. So again, it's a game in a way. And I kind of understand that. And I'm playing the game. We'll see. We will see what happens. But I'm interested in what your guys' thoughts are. You know, I wish I knew some of this stuff earlier. You don't know what you don't know. It's worth taking some time and looking into it. Like I said, now is a great time to be looking at buying some stuff. As the market, I'm not expecting a quick recovery. In fact, to be honest, I make weekly weekly auto deposit, which then gets automatically invested based on my percentages for my stocks. So I would actually be very happy to see an extended period of a market decline, even from where things are. I'm okay with that. Just gives me some more time to get more money in the market and get more shares at a better price. Before the market started its downturn, my account was up roughly 25 to 28%, which I was happy about. I haven't looked today. Last week, I think it was, or the week before, I was down at minus 3%. See, I'm laughing about that. Went down from about 28% gain to 3% loss. And I'm going to laugh about it because, okay. Because I know the companies I've invested in are still good picks. The stock market right now, it's all emotional. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the status of these companies. It's all emotional. It's a game. And once you realize that, the world can be your oyster. This is what a lot of people don't understand about how the wealthy become wealthier. A lot of the wealthy set money aside, cash, for these kind of moments. They buy undervalued stocks when the market crashes. They throw that cash in the market when the market's down. And then when the market goes back up, they're richer. See a lot of companies buying back their own stock right now. They keep cash reserves to do just that. It's a game. Like I said, it's a game. So just some thoughts for you guys on all that. Interested to know if you've got some thoughts on any of that. Go ahead and drop them in the comments below. Again, make sure you check out Painting Piper. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow, I think I'll do another entry in the pipes and books series, reading updates and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully I'll get to that again tomorrow. Friday there won't be a video for sure because it's going to be another 11-hour day at work. So that won't happen for sure. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's it for today's video. So I will see you guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Enjoy.